Everybody to Ria Vision Avant, and on today I got another 2 books that I'm going to be reviewing live, so let's get into it. Yes, darling. So listen, how are you guys doing? I am so happy to be here, guys. Today we're going to be reviewing 2 more books, and I'm going to try my best to get this done in a specific amount of time. But y'all know me, I go over time. But listen, do me a favor if you are watching this live, because we are live streaming. This is March 29th. This is a Wednesday. We're live streaming. If you're watching us live, do me a favor in the chat space right now. Let me know what it is that you guys do. Include your name. You know, for example, my name is Ria Vision Avant. I help speakers, coaches, and network marketers who are authors or future authors learn how to leverage their book to build a full business, generating over $10,000 plus per month. My ideal audience is that of a person who wants to build a business that does at least $10,000 a month, week, or day by leveraging their book. And so right now, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to, instead of just going straight into the book reviews, I'm going to talk about what makes a good book cover. Okay, so what makes a good book cover, and I'm going to draw it out on my whiteboard. But before I get into that, I also want to just let you guys know that I've been able to help more than 6,000 plus men and women to become published authors. And I started doing this in 2015. In 2019, I actually launched Book Profits Club, because when I was helping all these people to become authors, one of the things that I was noticing is they were authors, but they weren't making any money. And I'm just here to let you guys know that that's never the reason why I became an author, just to say that I was an author. I became an author because at the time I was in network marketing, and I wanted to be able to use my book to help grow my organization, which I did. And then when I actually transitioned into coaching, I then wanted to leverage my book to build my coaching business, which I did. And so now I'm showing several authors. In fact, my goal is this year, 1,000 speakers, coaches, and networkers who are authors or future authors to generate over $10,000 a month. So 1,000 authors in 2023 to generate over $10,000 a month, week, or day. If your goal is not to make over $10,000 a month, I may not be your best person, because I am going to be teaching you principles that are designed to help you build your business. Y'all can't hear me? Don't tell me the mic is muted, because it's showing that the mic is up. Can y'all hear me? Let me check. God dog it on. Let me check on YouTube real quick. Let me just make sure, y'all. I'm telling you, if it ain't one thing, it's another, child. Everything just started cutting up. I'm telling you. Oh, no, it's working. Okay, so my audio is working. I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. So today I'm going to be talking to you first about what makes a cover sell, okay? And then I'm going to review these 2 covers, and y'all can also let me know, are they set up to sell, right? So what I do when I do these live book reviews is I don't really read the book, okay? So I don't read the book. In fact, what I'm doing is showing you how the book is going to sell based off of the way it looks. And so there's 4 main areas that people actually look at when they make a decision to buy. The first thing that they're going to look at is going to be the front cover. They're looking for something specific when it comes to the front cover, and we're going to talk about that. Then once the front cover has given them an understanding of what it's about, if it is something that is connected to what they're looking for, they'll flip it over and look for the back cover. Now, there are some specific things that you want to make sure that you include on your back cover, okay? Guys, can y'all go ahead and let me know if y'all can hear me? I just put it on my YouTube and I heard it, but I just want to make sure, can you guys hear me? If you can, go ahead and put your intro statements in the chat. But they're going to look, there's some specific things that you want to do for the back cover that's going to help you to sell even more. So they're going to look at the front. You're going to be looking for actually two different things, looking for the back. They're going to look at some additional things. And then what they do is they flip it open. Okay. So they're going to flip it open to look on the inside. And a lot of times they're not flipping it open so that they can read it, because they're not going to read it right there. Right. They're really looking to see, what does it look like? What does the layout look like? Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some tips before we go into reviewing these couple of books. And I'm going to share my screen first. So let me pull up my screen. So again, nobody is typing that they can hear me. Well, maybe I should just cancel today. I don't know. I think I might, because I'm just having some difficulties, y'all. I don't know. I can hear it, but nobody is typing in the chat if they can hear me. So I don't know what to do. Definitely looking for the people that are watching to go ahead and engage and let us sister know if y'all can hear this or not. Not on Instagram. Y'all can hear me, but I'm streaming this on, if you want to see the screen, I'm on YouTube and I'm also on Facebook. Okay, going once. Going twice. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, good, because I was about to end this jank. All right, okay, let's go ahead and pull up the screen. And I'm going to go over a couple of things that you want to make sure are in place when you are writing your book, okay? So the first thing that you want to be paying attention to is going to be the title of your book, okay? The title. Now, the title of your book should be something that grabs attention, okay? Grabs attention. So it can be a one word, it can be a controversial word, it can be powerful, something, but it should grab the attention of that potential reader, okay? So everybody should have at least a title for their book. The next thing you need to have is a subtitle. I see so many self-help books that do not have a subtitle. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have a subtitle, then your title must be very descriptive, okay? But if you pay attention to any New York bestseller, typically, unless it's someone that is a celebrity A-lister, that subtitle is going to then give a specific transformation. Y'all can't see that. Transformation, a specific transformation that they're going to get from the book. So let's just say that your book is titled The Overcoming. The Overcoming, right, is the title. Well, overcoming could mean so many different things. And this is where majority of most authors mess up when it comes to their books. They only have a title. And if people have to try to figure out what your book is about, they're not going to buy. Now, yeah, the people that know you, the people that know you will buy, but we're talking about expanding beyond our current warm market. Your book should be a tool that allows you to build your market. Amen. So your subtitle, you need to have a specific transformation. I recommend, 7 steps to, tips to, how you can. In fact, I always recommend including either a how, what, why, when, where, or who. So you can start it off with one of these: why, what, when, where, or who, or how. You can title, that can be a part of your subtitle, but it needs to be a specific transformation. Again, I work with speakers, coaches, network marketers. They're creating self-help books. So you have to be very specific in telling people what the book is about. So this is what your title and your subtitle. The biggest misconception, y'all, that people think is that they're looking at colors. They're not. They're looking at the promise. That they're looking at graphics. They're not. They're looking at the promise. And so there are books that have gone on to be New York's bestsellers left and right without having any kind of imagery at all. It's all about the promise that the book is making. And so if you want your book to sell without you having to be there, which hopefully that's everybody, right? You want to be able to have a book that has a title that grabs the attention of the person, and then the subtitle that gives them the specific transformation. Now, another thing I'm going to recommend is do not repeat the same words in your title and subtitle. So for example, let's say your book is about depression. I wrote a book about depression, right? So you might call the book Depression. I actually named my book Depression because one word titles are attention grabbing, right? So depression. Then I would not want to have a subtitle that says the 7 steps to overcoming depression. We don't need to use the same exact word. You want to use a totally different word in your subtitle, okay? So hopefully this makes sense. So you do not want to repeat. Now, the back cover. So whenever somebody flips it over to the back cover, this is how I recommend you design your back cover. Number 1, you start off with what I like to call qualifying questions. Qualifying questions. A qualifying question would be, are you sick and tired of nobody respecting you at your job? Do you wish that you would be able to make more sales on stage? Are you looking for a better way to find the love of your life without being on dating apps? So those are qualifier questions. Of course, those are for 3 different types of books, but you start off with 3 qualifier questions. And the reason, and these are going to be questions that are going to get the person to say yes. Now, if anybody has ever taken any sales courses, you understand that you want to get that person in what is called yes mode. And so the first thing that they want to get is the qualifier questions that's going to put them into yes mode. So you say yes, yes, yes. You want that person to be like, yes, 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 right? Then you can say something like, I typically put, this book is for you. And then we say, in this book, you're going to learn da, 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 right? So you might have a small paragraph that's going to tell you a little bit more about the transformation. So maybe you're going to say, in this book, you're going to learn about the tips that I had to follow to overcome depression. In this book, you're going to learn the steps that I followed so that I could be able to land the job of my dreams, right? And so you start off with that. Then you might want to include like a quote, or even you could include a testimony from somebody sharing like how you've helped them. It may not be from the book, but you can include that. And then you might have your picture, okay? Now, let me tell y'all something about these pictures. If it's not professional, high definition, resolution, mean a professional photographer took your picture and then finished it, edited it, made it look like airbrush, like it should go in a magazine, right? Guys, you don't always need to have a picture on your cover because some of us are messing up sales because our cover, we got this picture on there that looked like Pookie and Ray Ray took the picture. And I'm not even trying to be funny here. I am dead serious. Y'all, if you want somebody to take you serious, you have to be serious about investing into professional pictures and a professional cover. And so I'll typically have a picture. And then what we like to call this is like a mantra. So a mantra or a short bio. But this is not about your life story right here. You're literally writing about like something connected to the transformation. So if this book is about how to find your dream guy, I will say this brief bio might say something like, Taria was single for more than, 10 years. And she followed these steps and principles in the book that have allowed her to be able to not only find her dream guy, but when she started following these steps, she was able to get her dream guy in less than 6 months. And now they're happily married and da, 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 and da, da, da. You see what I'm saying? So the bio is really more about you or how you've applied the principles to help people. Another thing that I see a lot of people mess up on is they don't have any kind of contact information. You always, always, always want to make sure on your back cover that you include a website. Preferably a website that can capture leads or the website to where people can buy the book. Don't make it complicated because remember, if you do a good job with this and your book is sitting down, people are going to want to get your book. And this might be somebody else's copy. So make it easy for them to be able to contact you or get a copy of the book for themselves. And so you want to make sure that you include your website and then social media. Now, I typically will just put like maybe the icons of whatever the thing is. And then all my social media is the same. Even my LinkedIn. All my social media is the same. And I'm going to tell you, years ago, I actually changed my Instagram. It used to be Taria, and I was at about 9,000 followers. And I made a decision at that moment that because people don't know how to spell my name. And so because like my Facebook was one link and my YouTube was another link. And I said, no. Because I don't want to have to be somewhere and tell people that, oh, on Facebook, it's this. On YouTube, it's this. On LinkedIn, it's this. No, my social media is Vision Avant. Whenever a new social media platform comes out, even if I'm not using it, I will go and get my username as soon as I possibly can. Okay? And so that's going to be the back cover. And then the fonts that I typically recommend, personally me, my favorite font inside the book is going to be Cambria. And you're going to use 12 point font. And either 1 to 1 and a fourth in spacing. I don't really like to do 1.5, you know what I mean? Because it can look a little bit elementary, unless that is who you're, if you're writing a book for children. But Cambria at max, maybe 14, but for the most part, it's going to be 12 points, 12 point. I recommend that your book should be 10,000 to 15,000 words at minimum. Anything beyond 20K, honestly, y'all, that's getting really big. You might just want to save it for another book. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these reviews, and then I can go home and, well, I ain't going home. I'm going to go eat. I'm hungry. All right, so if you guys are ready, let's do this. Let me pull up my screen. All right. Hopefully you guys got some value here. And if you want me to review your book, go to Vision Avant Book Reviews, and you'll get the details on how to send me a copy of your book. So this right here is from Brian Majors. I like that he has his packaging, which does have his picture on here. Pretty dope. And it says family goals, motivation, leadership, and character development. And very, very smart, he also has his website right here. Look at that. BrianMajors.com. He has his website right here. So pretty slick of you, Brian. All right, let me go ahead and open this up. All right. Again, guys, if you want me to review your books, just simply send them to Vision Avant Book Reviews. All right, so here we go. All right, so first we got a nice couple things here. Thanks so much. Oh, well, thank you so much, Brian. And then he has a card in here, which has a barcode. I'm sure that's going to scan so that you can go to his website. Super smart. Oh, and I love these types of things. Kind of like, it says, it's called the Major Prep. Turn your goals into reality. Everything you go through, you're supposed to grow through. Control your thoughts and actions. Have integrity, confidence, and humility. Never give in or give up. Have a purpose and passion. Master your internal world. Bend but never fold. Your character speaks volumes. Mentality, keep evolving. Emotionally, always believe in yourself. Physically, be able to endure life's journey. Be a leader, not a follower. And then he has his contact details. It's pretty dope. All right, so let's get into this cover. So I'm going to show you guys the cover. Everybody. Oh, let me remove the other little separate video right here. So here is the cover. All right. So the title of the book is called Training for Triumph. And then at the top, he has stay focused, remain humble, and keep working. The second subtitle is, by the way, you can have more than one subtitle. It says how to prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually for your lifelong goals. So I'm going to be honest. So one of the things I will say, it looks great, but that's a lot, right? And so, how to prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. that may be a lot, even though you might have all of these things in the book. For me, if I'm reading that, I might feel like, ooh, this is a little bit too much. And then also, what is this book about though? So like, when you say how to prepare, is this a book on goal setting? And so are you teaching people the goals, like goals, steps to setting goals? So one thing that I would like to even say, even if you kept that there and then maybe at the top, like setting goals to what? So let's also dig down deep into this. So one thing that we also have to understand is that when people are buying self-help books, typically it's going to give a specific transformation, right? Not a general or not an everything transformation. I said this on a podcast interview today that nobody is looking for everything. Right now, nobody is looking for, I need help in everything in the world, right? And they're looking for specifics. So when somebody is on Google, they're saying, hey, I need to learn how to get a raise on my job. I want to learn how to, And so where a lot of authors get emotionally attached to is the fact that, well, I can help people do any and everything. Okay, I understand you can, and so can I. But I've learned a long time ago that when you try to do everything, you end up doing nothing, okay? So what I would like to see is more specifics, and granted, you don't have to change the contents in a book, but my goal here is that people actually buy it and then read it, right? And so I might say something like, well, I first would attach to you. I mean, you got the Rolex on here, you got the suit on. I don't know. Are you helping people to maybe obtain a better financial lifestyle, right? So I might say something like, set your goals so you can increase your financial lifestyle or something, right? Because there's 3 things that people typically are looking to spend money on. Number 1, finances. Number 2, relationships. And then number 3, wellness. Now you can actually narrow those down even more. But again, I'm really still not sure what this is about. I mean, I could tell it's like a motivational book, but I would like to still get something that's a little bit more grabbing, attention grabbing, telling me specifically, even if it's just one thing in here, steps to being able to have more money, more fun, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I would even add that because lifelong goals, the truth is that's not majority of most people. Most people are not going out and looking to how to achieve their lifelong goals. They're looking to achieve right now goals, right? Okay, so then we flip it over. So here's the back cover of the book, which, by the way, I could tell that you definitely spent some money. You invested into having someone. Let me zoom in. Here we go. Okay, so based on what I've already shared, we do see that it doesn't start off with qualifier questions. Now, I'm going to highly recommend, if you do not decide to change your titles, that you have got to add in some qualifier questions. Because again, I'm still not feeling attached or even understanding what this is about. And remember, a lot of people don't want to sit down and read something if they don't feel like it's going to give them a specific transformation. Does that make sense, guys? Hopefully it does. So like I would start off with some questions versus starting off with your bio, right? So I would start off with those qualifier questions, and you've got like a quote in here. That's nice. I would push that down. And it just really seems like it's more just kind of like about you, an educated man with high school diploma, results of hard work. What are the results? Like, be specific too. That's another thing, y'all. We got to start being very specific about what it is that we have, not necessarily in material ways, but being specific about the accomplishments, because that's where people are going to feel relatable. So we talk about, yes, our titles, which we have become very, as a society, we're addicted to sharing our titles. But I want to know more so of what has that produced for you? You know what I mean? Like, what has that produced for you specifically? Has it gotten you, a high 6-figure earning career on the job? Have you launched a business where you've served and helped over 100 clients? What is it specifically that you've been able to help with? Now, he has his contact information, his website, and social. That's great. I always recommend that. But I would definitely add in some more qualifier questions. And if you have worked with, and he did have a different picture on the back. I want to shout that out as well. So his picture that's on the back is a different picture, but it is also still a professional picture. Okay. So while he is wearing more of a sweater with his logo, I don't mean that you cannot wear what you want to wear. I mean that just make sure it's done with a professional photographer. So definitely that's a good job with that professional picture, but I would still want to see some qualifier questions. I would want to have an understanding of what this book is about. Now, when I open it up, I can see the font size is probably, this probably is Times New Roman. It's a little bit smaller on the smaller side. So on top of me not having a full understanding of what I'm going to learn when I read this book, the font is also small. So for someone who's like, I don't really have a lot of time to be trying to read and figure out what this is about, that may deter some people too. So I like Cambria because for whatever reason, that font, it looks more easier on the eyes, okay? A lot of people may not tell you that, but every single time someone flips open my book, they say, oh, okay, this looks like a nice read. They don't know that, but just based on what they have seen, it looks like a nice read, right? So the font is small, so I would definitely increase it. I mean, it's going to make your book a little bit larger because right now it's 154 pages. So you definitely have put some work into this. And I see, let me see. You have like some fill in the blanks, but even with the fill in the blanks, it's so small that I don't know if anybody could effectively use it. So you might want to increase these sizes as well, right? Increase the size so that people can actually fill in the blank. Also the alignment. It looks like whoever did this, they're putting your chapters on the opposite side. It's hard to kind of explain, y'all. So because when I flip it over, y'all can't tell, but this is like on the inside versus like, which is fine. But typically I like to start my chapter on the right side. So on the right side, because that's how, people are going to read. Or if you're going to start it like this, maybe have something else that's going to be on this space that you can occupy and add into this particular book. Hey, Tiffany, how are you? So overall, I will tell you this, great job on this, Brian. You did a good job with really constructing this. Again, I would ask that, maybe you update and add a specific title or subtitle about what can someone learn specifically? Like, are they going to learn how to get a raise? Are they going to learn, something, right? Or even just, steps of how I went from being XYZ to ABC, right? So something like that. Start off with some qualifier questions on the back. I think you're definitely on the right track. This is definitely done professionally. I want to give you kudos and congratulations on your success. All right. So now we have another book that we are going to be reviewing that came in from, I don't know. It don't say. It just got my business address on here. So you know what? This looks like a collaboration book. Oh, okay, it's a collaboration book. All right, darling. Well, let's go ahead and look at this. So this is from Barbara Smith with a foreword by Ruben West. Okay, so I'm assuming, I don't know who the author is for this book though, because I don't know if this is Barbara Smith that sent this to me or if this is one of the co-authors in the book. So let me let y'all see it. Okay, so this is a collaborative book. As y'all know, we do a lot of collaboration projects. And so this is cool. So empowering you, it's your time, powerful stories of struggle to strength. Cool. Now in collaboration projects, it's a little bit different when it comes to creating a subtitle that gives a specific result, because you are dealing with so many different stories. So you're going to be a little bit more general than what you would in your own book, right? So this works for me. I don't mind it at all. And I don't mind actually the cover itself. Aesthetically wise, of course, like I do look at stuff like that. I like the way that you have this clock and all of that. I would love for the empowering you to be like bigger or somehow, you know what I'm saying? Without that, it's got like a glow on it with the white background. So I don't know, even if you had where this was, I see like how the designer made this kind of on the top. Let me see. You see right here on the top where they kind of put a little bit of blue to fade it out. You could just make that all one solid blue and then make the empowering you be like big bolder letters. because the word empowering is such a bold, bold word. So that's one thing I would add. Now, on the back cover, again, just like with my any book, I always do qualifier questions. So with all of my collaboration books, I always do qualifier questions as well. I'll give you an example of what I mean of a collaboration book. Let me see here. So this is a book that we did, butterfly, some years ago called Women in MLM, right? Right? And so hold on. Oh, I don't have the qualifier questions on here, but I do have, it goes straight into some specific statistics. So this one, and then I do some specifics as well. So in this one, I did not necessarily add the qualifier questions, but I do have this. They say that 82% of women who make more money, who make more than $100,000 a year, do it in the MLM industry. They also say that the MLM industry is as a whole is 75% women. So while those are not necessarily qualifier questions, they are kind of qualifier statements. So it's getting a woman that's reading this to say, oh, okay. The MLM industry is an industry that more people are joining more than ever. This book, Women in MLM, is needed more than ever. This book is is needed more than ever. This book is for any woman who is in the MLM industry and looking to be able to work from home. The ability to make additional streams of income is vital, and you will get a chance to learn from several women in the MLM industry winning at different levels. So when somebody reads that back portion, they know exactly what they're going to get, right? So that's kind of like what I'm giving you guys an example. Now, let me read this one. It says the authors in this book discovered that their life's purpose was like being in an athletic weight room. It hurts sometimes. It breaks you down, but they pushed past the discomfort because you must push yourself past the discomfort. All right. These brave souls discovered that it is possible to come back from struggles even stronger. Your life's assignment is designed to grow you, to test your knowledge, and develop you in a better space. Your life, I would still, because this is good, this is really, really good, but I would maybe remove one of these paragraphs to even kind of talk to the person that's looking at this. Like, hey, are you ready to write a book? Are you ready to hear the stories of overcoming Or, 9 out of 10 people are dealing with stuff and don't know how to overcome it. Something that's going to grab them, I would definitely add, but I do like this. And then you have all the co-authors on the back. So of course that kind of leaves the space limited, but you do have some space right here at the bottom. So either way, if whoever created this project, if that is you that sent me this, I would definitely put the website to the project so that people can buy it, because otherwise, how will somebody, if they happen to see it, be able to get it? Now, of course, they can probably go in and flip in, but I'm just telling you the mentality of most people. If you make things too hard for them to have to figure out, a lot of times they're not going to want to do it, right? So let's go ahead and open up this thing. And so it goes straight into the title page. And then we have the table of contents, which I did not look at on the other ones, but this table of contents looks great. Introduction looks great, Barbara. And this does look like probably Times New Roman. Again, I'm just a big I love Cambria. It just looks so much more easier. But I will say the way that this book is laid out, it doesn't look as hard, right? So it looks nice and spaced. It looks good. Let's see what the chapters are. Okay. Now, there aren't any sub-chapters, so that's a whole nother conversation as far as the aesthetics of writing a book. I like to break it into sub-chapters, and the reason I like to have like different bold areas of sub-chapters, because when somebody is reading, it'll give them the ability to feel like they're getting, like they're getting something accomplished versus just reading a long chapter. So even like in our collaboration books, we create different sub-chapters based upon the questions that we're asking so that we're able to break it down. So when I look at it, I mean, it's just, it's a long story. And of course, I'm sure that these are more like biography, memoir type stories versus how to instructional based self-help. So more memoirish type books. I don't do anthologies in that way. I actually do them in like how to instructional based. But the font itself, the layout, the print, the design of this looks amazing. Page numbers, I see you have your page numbers at the top. I definitely do love the way that this was formatted. You did a great job on it. But yeah, I mean, this is a good book. Again, I would definitely maybe create some more specific questions that you can ask on the back cover. Also, another thing that I recommend doing is, if you notice, like where I break up the monotony of the covers by adding bullet points and things like that and changing some of the colors, certain things that I want to grab the attention of the reader, you can also do that on your back covers as well. Like bold out certain things, add color, create bullet points. What I've done is sometimes I'll do bullet points of just different chapter titles. If it's a singular book, like one person, if it's a collaboration book, I'll do bullet points of just different things overall that people will learn based on like the questions that I might ask. So today we had some really good books. I definitely, think these are great books. Good start. Of course, you guys know that the real work does begin once the book is done. You got to get these books in front of as many people as possible, right? So you have to grind. You got to get these books out. Now, if this book, I will say with this collaborative book, if you are not Barbara and you're one of the co-authors on the back, then what I would do is I would make sure that I would include something so that people would know like what chapter is mine or how to get. So you might put like a bookmark right where your chapter begins with your contact details, because it doesn't look like there's contact details for each person or whatever. I could be wrong. But I would definitely make sure that I put a bookmark that so people can know how to get to my chapter immediately, right? Especially if you're not Barbara. Now, if you are Barbara, then this is, everybody in the book that, this is your book. But if you're not and you're a co-author, figure out ways so that you can separate yourself from the other authors, because if you're selling this, of course you want people to read your chapter first before they go and read everybody else's. Well, listen, guys, if you want me to review your book, today I did a little bit training on how to be able to create a good cover based on a title and a subtitle. But next week, what I'm going to do is give you some additional tips. So I got to get some books in the mail. Y'all got to send me some books for next week, right? But next week, what I want to do is then go over how to leverage these books, right? So I'm going to take the 2 books that I get next week, and I'm going to show you guys how to turn those into multiple streams of income, okay? So make sure that you guys, if you are watching on any of the platforms, you definitely want to make sure that you turn on notifications, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, because when you do leave a comment, then the algorithm will say, okay, we're going to make sure that you can see the next video. So make sure that you stay plugged in, because every single week we're going to be doing these live. Last things last, okay? Tomorrow morning, you guys are absolutely welcome. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be doing for free a book profits session. Okay, book profits session. Now, what is that, you ask? Well, a book profits session is basically a free training where I am going to be providing for you guys techniques and training on how to turn your book into multiple streams of income. So one of the challenges that I get, because when people actually join the Book Profits Club, is that they're always like, Taria, it's just so much than I was expecting. I'm overwhelmed. You guys have a ton of value, a ton of products, a ton of that, da, 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 da. So on tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about how to turn your book into the multiple streams, but then also what our success schedule looks like. So I'm going to show you the success funnel and the success schedule so that you can identify the things that you can do on a daily basis, okay? So that you can be able to hit your $10,000 per month goal, all right? So we're going to show you all of that. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and plug on in by going to Book Profits Session. We're going to be live tomorrow on Thursday. That is going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I pray that you're having a day full of peace, prosperity, and happiness, and everything in between. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Deuces.